Welcome back, guys, to my humble abode, and welcome to another cooking video, Cooking with Uniquely Stace. Welcome back. Today we are going to be making this beautiful pasta shells with broccoli, rabe, and sausage. And now today we are channeling our Ina Garten. So I received a cookbook from Ina Garten, and you probably know her as the Barefoot Contessa on the Food Network. And I received one of her cookbooks for Christmas, and this one was Cook Like a Pro: Recipes and Tips for Home Cooks. And this specific recipe is on page 128. And this is a new series that I'm doing where I'm just taking the recipes that chefs, well-known chefs, make on the Food Network, on the cooking channel, and then making my own. So her original recipe is actually pasta shells with broccoli, rabe, and pancetta. But today I took that and used a different set of pastas, still kept the same broccoli, rabe, and changed the pancetta to sausage. So let's get right into the video. Welcome to the space. So what I'm starting out with here is I'm starting out with a few cloves of garlic. I'm actually using parsley because I had some leftover in the fridge and I wanted to use that up. And then we also have our broccoli rabe, and you can see my seasonings in the back. For my pasta, I'm using penne. I have my bone-sucking sauce, my ricotta cheese, parmesan, red pepper flakes, and then I am using this Hillshire Farm turkey sausage that I got from the supermarket. So what we're going to do is we are going to get a pot and we are going to work on our pasta first. So we are going to get our pot on the fire with some water, turn that heat on about medium-high heat, more on the high side, and we are going to put some salt in our pot. I am using pink salt, and one of these days I'll spend a detailed video giving you a brief understanding of the benefits of pink salt, but until then we are just going to share this salt generously and then add in some olive oil and then leave it to boil. Now I'm just rinsing off my broccoli rabe, and I am checking for any brown spots, any rotten areas. I'm chopping off the stems, making sure that it's pretty much clean before I begin to cook this. So I'm just going to get my knife, and you see those brown bits? Cut them, let them go in the trash, is where they need to be, okay? And I'm just going to keep checking this, chopping it up, and then giving the broccoli rabe a rough chop. So just like that, kind of piecing it together, giving it chunks. You can also rip this apart by hand if you want to, whatever way you like. I'm giving it a nice rough chop with the knife before I add it to my pot. And look at that beautiful, beautiful greenery before it's about to go into the fire. So our water is boiling now. It's well salted, and I'm just adding in the broccoli rabe in the pot. And the reason why I salted it is because we're going to cook our pasta in the same water, and our pasta also needs some salt. So the broccoli's going to get some salt, the pasta's going to get some salt. So you are just adding layers of flavor as you go along. And what you want to do is you want to leave the broccoli rabe for about 2 to 3 minutes until the broccoli becomes wilted. We're going to remove the broccoli from the water into a separate bowl, and we're going to leave it there on the side because we're going to use it later when we make our sausage to combine it all together. And now you have this beautiful green water, and we're just going to reboil the water again and then add in our penne pasta. And feel free to add additional salt or oil if need be. Again, this is all based on your preference. I didn't feel the need to add additional salt. I felt it was fine, so I left it as is. But if you want more salt, you're like, no girl, it's too fresh for me, shower away. So while our pasta is cooking, we are going to chop up our parsley and our garlic, make it nice and minced and fine or roughly chopped, whatever you prefer. I'm smashing it out with my knife as I per usually do because it's just easy for me to get the garlic out of its trash. I'm going to give it a nice little mince before I chop up my turkey sausage. Now Hillshire has beef, chicken, turkey, pork, whatever floats your boat, you can use. I only use one sausage. This meal is super, super, super easy to make. It literally took me about 30 minutes, and I am all about those quick meals. Now we're checking our pasta. So the camera was going in and out because the steam was literally like, in the camera's lens. And I was trying to show you in the camera, how you know when your pasta is cooked. And as we can see, the pasta still needs a little bit more time. As always, follow the instructions on the back of your pasta. So if it's 11 minutes, 12 minutes, 9 minutes, just follow those instructions and then cook to your liking. If you like your pasta to be mushy and soft and sappy, by all means make it that way. If you want it to be more harder, by all means make it that way. I always recommend, if you plan on cooking your pasta outside of the pasta water for additional minutes, I would always say cook a little bit under, because you don't want to fully cook your pasta and then when you cook it again in a pot or something, it becomes more mushy. So if it takes the pasta 12 minutes to cook, take it out at 10 minutes, take it out at 9 minutes. If it's 9 minutes, take it out at 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 6 minutes. So that way the pasta gets that 4 minutes or 5 minutes of extra time additionally when you add it to your pot. I hope that kind of makes sense. So now while our pasta is still cooking, because it's still needing a little bit more time to cook, we are going to get our pot, and I am putting in some olive oil. I use regular olive oil because the sausages are already salty and I'm not really adding much seasoning to them, and I am just adding them to the fire. Now my fire is on medium high heat because I really want my sausages to get that nice burnt crispy color. I love burnt anything. That's my thing. I think burnt is just so good. It's just so good. And so I'm flipping them over, making sure that each side is getting seared by the fire and that the heat is really just getting it nice and crispy. We're back at our pasta again, and we are going to now remove the pasta and reserve some of that pasta water. Don't throw out your pasta water. It has so much flavor in there that you can add to your food. And while I did that, I also drained my pasta and went back to my sausage. And now it's getting that nice, beautiful charred look. And oop, one almost ran away. Oh, two again. Okay, come back. But I'm putting my sausages on a paper towel because I want to drain some of the excess oil off and just get some of that grease removed. So I'm just going to add back my sausages that ran away. The one that fell on the floor, I gave it to my dog. And I'm going to pat it dry just to remove the excess oil that I don't really want when I combine everything together. So keeping the same fire and the same oil and all the beautiful flavor from our sausage, we are going to add in our parsley and our garlic. The reason why I didn't do this when I first added in my sausages is because I didn't want the garlic to burn. So a good tip is that if you want your garlic to if you don't want your garlic to burn but you need to fry something, the best bet is to fry it first and then add your garlic and your pepper afterwards, and then re-add the sausages as I'm doing now. So I'm just re-adding my sausage back into the pot, mixing it up, making it get fragrant with the garlic and the parsley, and now I'm going to add in my broccoli rabe. And look at that beautiful greenery. I just love how rich in color the broccoli is. And I'm going to mix that with my sausage and my garlic and my parsley. And again, my fires are medium high heat. And then I'm going to add in my pasta that has been drained. So I had more pasta than broccoli because I wanted more pasta. One thing I will note is that I've never actually had broccoli rabe before, so this is my first time eating it. And the one thing that I noticed is that broccoli rabe can be very bitter. If you don't mind it, by all means add more. If you just want a taste of it, then all means add less. So now this is well combined. We're going to add in our beautiful pasta water to kind of just seal this meal. And what I'm looking for here is I want my pasta to get a little bit burnt. So I turn the heat up to high now, so this is on the highest heat that it can be. And what I'm doing is, you see, I want that nice burnt look on my pasta before I remove from the fire. And while that's doing that, I'm going to make my nice ricotta mixture. So I take 2 dollops of ricotta cheese, some parmesan cheese, some olive oil. I'm going to mix it all together, and this is going to add, I call it the cooling effect to the entire dish, because the broccoli is a little bit bitter and then the sausage is salty and the pasta there is creamy. This is going to add a cooling effect to your mouth. It's going to have a nice balance between the broccoli's bitterness and also that nice cheesy effect. And so I'm just pouring my beautiful pasta mixture with my sausage and my broccoli rabe into the pot. You see that beautiful steam coming out and it looks so delicious. And then I'm going to add in my ricotta, parmesan, and olive oil mixture on the side. And what you're going to do is just going to dip your fork into your pasta, pick it up with your ricotta cheese mixture, and oh my gosh, talk about heaven in your mouth. This meal was so easy to make and so delicious, and something that you can whip up in literally 30 minutes. So once again, this recipe came from Ina Garten, also known as the Barefoot Contessa. And again, I'm doing this series on my channel where I'm just channeling my inner chef, trying to cook like the pros. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, subscribe, comment. I want to hear your thoughts in this video. Also, go to my blog, uniquelystace.com. I'll leave all the links to the cookbook, to my blog, to my Instagram, and to my Pinterest in the description bar down below. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and have a great day, and I'll see you in my next one.